All right, hello everyone. I'm Dufferin County Warden Darren White, and I'm with Brad Lemaich. He is the Shelburne and District Fire Department Fire Chief. Welcome, Brad. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Warden. Thanks for asking.
Great. Well, it's an excellent opportunity to talk to you, specifically with a long holiday weekend coming up, and this one, which is going to unfortunately look not like many we've had in the past. So, first of all, let's talk about fire permits and fire safety, sort of around the long weekend ahead, and the requirement for a fire permit. What happens if you have a fire gets out of control and you don't have a permit? That kind of thing.
Sure. In most, but not all of the municipalities within Dufferin that our department covers, as well as our neighboring departments, there is a fire permit process in place, which requires someone wanting to have a fire for whatever reason to apply for a permit from their municipality, and then ensure that their fire uh, is within the regulations set out in the permit. We do have for sure one municipality that doesn't require a permit, but they still have regulations regarding size and location and things of that nature in regarding people's fires.
Yeah, it's important for people to know that we had a grass fire a couple of months ago, just after the snow left, and because it was caused by a little bit of a negligent attitude by the people who started it, they ended up paying the full cost of the fire response, which was in the thousands of dollars, even for a small fire. So it's important for people to know that, if they are doing things outside of the rules, that's what they're going to face.
Absolutely. The municipalities all have bylaws in place that allow them to recover those costs that are expended to respond and extinguish illegal fires or non-compliant fires. And in most cases, it starts into the hundreds of dollars per truck per hour. So even a small mishap or a small contravention of the bylaw can end up being quite expensive for the property owner.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk a little bit about safety during self-isolation, what people should be looking at around their homes with regards to smoke alarms, CO2 alarms, that kind of thing. What's your advice there?
Well, I mean, this self-isolation and those folks working from home, now's a wonderful time for them to grab a few spare minutes and ensure that their smoke alarms are operating properly, that they test them, that they replace the batteries if they require batteries. And same with the CO alarms as well. Quite often there's something to get overlooked in the house because, people don't think of them when they're not sounding regularly. The other thing they can do, and it's a great time now, is to look at the expiry dates on their alarms. A lot of people out there don't realize that smoke alarms and CO alarms have a limited lifespan. And in most cases, any of the modern, and modern, I think anything produced within at least the last 15 years, does have an out of service date on the back, or it has a date of manufacture that, in the case of a smoke alarm, after 10 years, indicates time to replace. And in a CO alarm, most of them are between 7 and 10, depending on the manufacturer. So it's important because as they age, their ability to provide the early detection diminishes. And you don't want to find out in the case when you actually needed it that it failed to function as it should have.
For sure, that's great advice, Brad. So when we talk about first responders and whatnot, and there's been a lot of talk about first responders in the front line of defense over the last couple of months dealing with this pandemic, firefighters certainly right there at the lead, always taking charge. So we know that things are different the way you guys operate now. So how about letting us know, how are your guys doing right now? How are they coping? How are they dealing with the pandemic and that type of thing?
Well, we're starting to see, some of the effects of this current normal state on our firefighters. Um, the level of anxiety is a little bit higher on call outs based on the new protocols we had to put in place to protect our customers and to protect our firefighters. So we've had an added impetus on, first off, our firefighters taking the steps to protect themselves while they're working for our residents, and also to take the steps to protect our residents so that, you know, we're not inadvertently passing something on to them. You know, we're still responding to all the calls that we normally would. We're not doing any less in terms of what we do for the community. We just have had to learn some new ways to enhance the safety, things that we didn't consider in the past as important. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this pandemic has driven home to us that we do need to consider for everyone's safety. Currently, I can speak for this department. We're well stocked in PPE, you know, for the time being, and we're able to go out and perform our duties like we always have, just with some added gear on and some new protocols in you know, interacting with the residents of Dufferin.
Well, that's great, Brad. Thanks very much for telling us that. It's great to know that things are still functioning sort of in the new normal state. Things are working along really smooth. And on behalf of myself and the residents of Dufferin County, I wanted to say, you know, thanks for what you guys do and what you do specifically from the fire service. The general public is really learning over the last couple of months the importance of those frontline services, police, fire, paramedics, nurses, and doctors and whatnot in what we've become or come to know as the new normal. So thanks for what you guys do. Pass along our best wishes to all the members of your department, and we really appreciate it. And thanks for your time talking to us today, and your great advice. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you, Warden White. You keep up the good work too. We appreciate everything that our elected officials are doing to help get the word out and you know, make life as good as it can be for our residents. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Well, we'll do that. We'll keep working together for the betterment of the residents. All right, Brad, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. You too, sir.